I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I'm pretending we know the beat to this song. Hey, what's up, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to the 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days After Show. I'm your host, Alex Bowers. We have Linda Antwi and Ashley Bowden. Okay, so there's a lot to get through this episode. Some of it is fluff, as you know. We have a couple couples that aren't even couples anymore, okay? But we'll get to that. Guess who is starting a clothing line? Ashley, just guess really quick.
Guess who's what?
Starting a clothing line.
Out of this cast?
Out of this cast. I'm guessing.
Erica.
Okay. Erica, okay. I'm going to guess Stephanie because she does YouTube or something. I don't know, but Linda has the tea for us later on. So you guys stay tuned. Go ahead and let us know who you think in the comments, whatever. We'll see who's right later on. What were your thoughts on this episode, ladies? Were you entertained or is it stretched now? Because at first we were like, it's moving.
I was slightly entertained. Like, I was entertained by the Varya drama and Lisa and Usman. I thought that, like, some of it was filler. Like, I love Darcy, don't get me wrong, but I feel like that was just filler stuff. Maybe, like, backstory. And I almost feel like they're setting us up for, like, another spin-off, maybe Darcy and Stacey together.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Linda. I felt like it was a lot of filler scenes. The Varya and Geoffrey and Mary situation was solid, but everything else was like, okay, we can probably wrap them now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Ed and Rosemary or whatever, but she wasn't even in the episode. But just seeing him, and then, you know, he reunited with his dog, if that counts for anything. But other than that, I'm like, blah.
Right.
Oh, it's time for the tell-all, is what all I have to say. It's time for the tell-all.
Even though we've seen all of it.
Right. Linda saw 10 hours worth. So I know you're tired. If I'm tired, I haven't even gotten there yet.
Listen, I was thoroughly entertained by the tell-all. Ashley's seen it as well.
Oh, you said the whole thing, Ashley?
It's a lot of it is very entertaining.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I didn't sit and watch all 10 hours, but...
Yeah, couldn't get to everything. We're going to start with Geoffrey and Varya. Might as well. This was the most drama we got this episode. So they're going back and forth. I just kind of want to know your thoughts on Geoffrey not going after Mary when Mary was leaving. What did you think about this whole situation and how he kind of played her to the left is how I saw it. But how did you ladies see that part?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Linda.
No, go.
Okay. No, I was really disappointed that Geoffrey didn't go after Mary and didn't take up for Mary more when Varya was attacking her, because that's basically what Varya was doing. She came and she started attacking Mary, which was extremely unfair. And I thought it was weak of Geoffrey just to sit back and not come to her defense. All he said was, it's not her fault. The only person that should be getting their, you know what, handed to them right now is Varya, because she's way out of line. You don't just show up to somebody's house unannounced and think that things are just going to resume back to your liking. No, that's not the way it goes. And I feel like she's extremely manipulative with a lot of the things that she was saying to him in the house. Like when he said, you know, I'm not just going to easily fall out of love with you. And she's like, well, why aren't you hugging me? It was just all game. And I was just really disgusted with her after seeing this episode. I was really disappointed and disgusted. And I felt so bad for Mary. Mary's the one that actually deserves a hug after this whole situation.
Linda, you agree?
I agree with a lot of it. I was not surprised. That Geoffrey didn't stick up for Mary. And I'm going to use a basketball analogy. You are on the Lakers and you've got your starting lineup, and then you've got your bench players. And Mary's his bench player. Like, that's the B list. That's the B team. So he's not caring. He's not going to stick up for the B team because his A team has already arrived in his mind. And even though he says, like, he said it was over, all of that stuff, just like his friend said, like, he wants the new and shiny because he knows that Mary's always going to be there no matter what. And that's why he didn't stick up for her. And I thought, though, that Varya was coming in hot, and she was like guns a-blazing and like ready to fight and saying like she's ready for war. And I just thought, and I said this last time and I'll say it again, like, first of all, you're not showing up at my house unannounced. And second of all, you're not showing up at my house unannounced with your bags and thinking that you're going to spend one night at the hotel and then the rest of the time at my house, whether we were dating or not. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. You need to call and be like, hey, I got a surprise for you. I'm in town. You're not going to just be like, knock, 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 here I am. Yeah. Oh, it's foul.
He was quick to tell her, you know, she could stay. He was happy about this whole situation.
Yeah.
Something like he just lit him up, and he's like slick smiling. Like, I don't understand. Like, stop. You know that you're happy. You told her that it's okay for her to stay, knowing that she'll be in town for 2 weeks. What is Mary gonna do? So you're saying Mary can't come over anymore for 2 weeks while you are messing around with this girl?
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. And he loved it. He even said, I have 2 women vying for my attention. So it's like, you know what, dude? Like, calm down. Come all the way down, because you are not the prize.
He's definitely not. I think that it's in Mary's best interest for her to just completely move on. I wouldn't even keep a friendship with him. I would probably demote him to an associate, if I'm feeling generous. And I would move on with my life. Mary's a pretty girl. She has no reason to hang around waiting for Geoffrey to decide what he wants to do. Like, just move on with your life.
Especially if he's willing to invite her to meet the friends. He brought Varya with him. What sense does that make?
So there are a couple of things. First of all, what message is Mary sending, like, women? Like, it's okay to be the plan B and just like take whatever this dude is throwing your way? Because no, it's not okay. And like Ashley said, she's a beautiful lady. Like, she can get someone else and do better. That someone like wants her as the A star. But the other thing that I wanted to say that I thought was kind of disappointing was that I love that she got up, got her stuff, and like pieced them out. But then when she showed up for the drinks, I guess those are her friends as well. But it almost seemed like she came to fight for Geoffrey, and I was like, that looks desperate to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, he didn't say jack to you. He let you leave after he explicitly said that he's going to try to date you now and start something, and all of a sudden he just let you leave it with no fight, nothing. Like, don't fight for him.
I thought she looked desperate. I thought she looked desperate even before then. So I agree with you. At first, I'm like, okay, she's getting her stuff, she's leaving, but she doubled back into the house, and then came out and said, "Do you want these?" Like, I'm like, girl, you were so strong just leaving right then. That was a powerful little note you could have left on and just never talked to him again. Yeah. But then when she doubled back, I'm like, okay, so I know she's gonna be back in the picture. Because anybody else is like, forget it. I left underwear, whatever. Like, you don't even care. It's like, I'll get some more. I don't want to see this man no more.
Let me play devil's advocate. Just think if you're in Mary's shoes and Varya's talking all that smack to you, and she's holding back, she's trying to be reserved and not basically, engage her in that aggressive talk. So she probably felt like she wanted to one up in some way, I agree with what you're saying though. With her just having that powerful exit and just kind of leaving it alone at that point. But I think she wanted to feel like she one-upped her in some way or another by showing her like, these are my flowers that he got me, It's just catty and petty and really Varya is the wrong person. Like, she's
the wrong person is Geoffrey, right? The wrong person is Geoffrey.
No,
I think he's absolutely wrong because he's he's playing both sides. He's trying to get best of both worlds. And he hasn't made a decision because he doesn't want to make a decision because he likes having all this attention on him. So at the end of the day, it really is him. Like, if he's done with Varya, he shouldn't have allowed her to stay. He shouldn't have brought her to meet the friends. And he should have stuck up for Mary. He's in the wrong. But if he wants to play like in the middle and be like, ooh, I like this, let's see what happens, then to me, it makes him the bad guy, because at the end of the day, you're stringing two women along because it's stroking your little ego.
And I get that too. I think that he is wrong for not making a decision, but I'm just saying, like, the initial like drama starter and the person that created this issue was Varya. Like, she was way out of line. Geoffrey then did not handle the situation appropriately, which makes him, wrong for that. But I think Varya was just way out of line. I think the way she handled the situation was disgusting. And I just don't like the way she came at Mary. I thought that was just very disrespectful.
Yeah, Mary, she needs to run. Okay, so we are going to move on to Lisa and Usman. This whole thing, actually, I forgot even about this whole little situation proposal, because that was a mess too. I was cringing and I was interested and all tuned in. She basically forced him to propose to her. What were your thoughts on that whole situation? Because he only did it because she was mad. It wasn't romantic. And she said this was everything that she wanted. And I'm like, oh my gosh, girl.
I'm not shocked at all. Lisa is a bully. So none of this was shocked. Like, I was sitting there watching it like I had seen this already. Like, I've seen this. She's a bully. This is what she does. She's going to bully him to do what she wants him to do. And that's just that. Mm-hmm. On the proposal, I can speak on the conversation with the brothers if you like, or as far as that goes, I just felt that it was beating a dead horse. It's like, let it go. You got your proposal that you said you wanted. It was your dream proposal. Now you're sitting down with the family. Everybody seems to be embracing you in some way. Enjoy the moment. Why are you bringing up drama between you and Usman that could, like he said, potentially sway their opinion of you or sway their support and stop the wedding from happening altogether? She's just a drama mama all the way. Mm-hmm. Linda?
Okay, so I think Lisa's personality is really ugly, and I think that what Ashley said about, I've seen this before. I may not have seen the scene, but I can guarantee what her reaction's going to be and how she's going to be disrespectful and rude and no class and crass and all of those words. So speaking about the proposal specifically, when he says, will you marry me with peace and happiness, I started literally laughing out loud, because he started proposing to her as she was bitching from the bathroom because she couldn't find her breast or whatever. And I was like, oh, that is so ironic right there. And then when they had the fight proposal, and she said how, like, the day before the wedding, people are either going to think that she's knocked up or for a green card. First of all, look at my face right now, you guys. No one thinks you're knocked up, Lisa.
Right.
Not one person. If we're following the storyline, we know that it's all about the green card. It's not about you, because I believe there's no way that he would put up with the constant nonsense unless he had that end goal. Mm-hmm. And then as far as meeting like his family and going off on the brothers, she's disrespectful. She's never been respectful, so that's not surprising. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that, as we know, spoiler alert, that they go through with the wedding. I'm surprised it got that far, because the amount of sheer disrespect when she walked away and she banged her hand on the table, like, not only in like Muslim, African, just in general, I don't care, in any life, in my life, like, I wouldn't want to introduce someone like that to my family. Like, if I had some dude slamming on the table in front of my brothers, like, nuh-uh, stop it.
Right. Yeah. And the thing is, because a lot of people try to make that comparison between her and Angela, but the thing is, Angela will do the same thing in front of, like, she acts up in front of the mom, or she'll be smart in front of the mom. You know, like Angela has gotten smart before, but something about Lisa, she just crosses the line, but she's very mute when it comes to the mom. Like, she's scared. Like, she putting her foot in the toilet for the mom. Like, she just knows not to try the mom if anything. But I don't know. I feel like you can't really. It's hard to compare these two because the level of disrespect is different. We can't say that Angela really bullies Michael.
Oh, Alex,
Not like that.
Lisa is on a whole different level. Lisa is on a whole different level. Like, she makes Angela tame. Like, I'm actually excited to have Angela back. And bye-bye,
Angela
Lisa.
is a mess. We love Angela. She's a hot mess. But Lisa is like the type, it's like you don't even want to mess with her. Like, it's like, girl, why?
Yeah, like Angela brings the drama, but she doesn't bring the
disrespect.
And like just being crass. Like, I don't know. Angela to me is more like drama, and that's funny to me, like drama in a different way type of person. And Lisa's more like just classless and like an ugly personality. I can't.
Do you think they would bring her on for another show?
Who, Lisa?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. She does, like, people love to hate her, and that makes good TV. So
yeah, true. Okay, so moving on to Darcy and Stacey. Not much really happens with as far as like her and Tom, because that's done. But we do get a moment where Darcy and Stacey go and visit their big brother's grave, Michael. And they're pretty much hurting really bad right now. And she's just saying, if he was still around, men wouldn't be the way they are towards me. They would not even try it. And I just like want to know your thoughts. Do you think that would change who Darcy is, as far as, because they said even the brother was, like a hopeless romantic. Do you think her relationship life would have changed? Would be different now? Having an older brother over you?
No. I don't think so, because I think we'd like to think so, and she would like to think so. But I think the bottom line is, if he was still here in human form, she would still want to have her own life experience. You can't not have your life experience. Your brother probably could give you some good advice, but you're still going to make the decision that you're going to want to make. I'm sure people have given her good advice about Jesse, good advice about Tom and others, but she chose not to take it. And I'm sure if her brother was still here, like I said, in the physical form, he would have given her good advice, but it would be her choice not to take it. So I don't think she can say, oh, I would have avoided all of these missteps, romantic missteps, if my brother was here. I don't think that's necessarily true.
Because you have to figure it out on your own.
Say that again.
I said, because you have to figure it out on your own. Like
you have to figure it out on your own. Yeah, I think we like to think, oh, if this person was here, you still got to live your life. So.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think that she's a grown woman, and that would be like her North Star. But at the end of the day, she's still going to have her own life journey and her own life experiences, and she probably would have made whatever decision she was going to make because she's an adult, Yeah.
Yep.
I did want to bring up this whole. So I thought it was like just a weird, and I know I mentioned it to you guys before, but it was like a weird filler. So they're in the car, and then they talk about how they're in the market for a new car, and I think they said Bentley or something first, but then Darcy's like, no,
Maserati. Yeah.
Then she said no, the Maserati. And I was like looking at them, and I was like, but isn't that like a Corolla or a Nissan or whatever that you're driving? Like, that's a big come up from that to the Maserati. You must be making some really good 90-day money. You know what I mean?
Darcy with all the money.
It's random.
Well, I think you can get a good Maserati deal. You can get a good lease deal. You can get a Maserati for like $500-$600 a month.
Well, I just was like, that is really random. And then, like I said to you, like, I feel like this was a little bit of filler. Although she did mention that Tom, even though she blocked Tom started to reach out to her again. But I still think this is like filler, and we're seeing a little bit more of Stacey, and perhaps there's a spin-off there, because like, why are you now at the end of the season just talking about Michael and visiting his grave and giving his backstory, unless you're trying to tie it into both Stacey and Darcy for a spin-off? Exactly.
I agree with that, Linda.
All right, next up, Ash and Avery. Okay, so I just want to hop right into, Avery saying basically we're going to have this long distance relationship. We're pretty much going to be waiting 5 years to be together until Taj is older. I mean, was that realistic based off of what you've seen on the show thus far with this couple? 5 years? Would they even be able to go 2 years without one another? If you were just watching the show, not knowing what you know today.
Well, if they're doing the 3-month visitation stint, I think that it's doable. I think that's doable.
But they're not doing that, though, because what he let known just now is that he doesn't have an Australian passport. So he has to get his Australian passport and then get the visa that he needs to travel. And he says it could take 3 months to a year for that to happen. So I'm like, you guys are probably not going to see each other for like a year, because she's not going to come back to Australia anytime soon. Like, when they were having that conversation at the airport, even if I didn't know what I already know now, I was like, oh, this is the end of the relationship, because there's no guarantee that he's even going to get his visa or his passport in that year, right? He's applied. He said he applied 2 months ago, but you applied for your passport 2 months ago, and it's going to take you almost a year to get your visa. Something doesn't sound right to me. Like, what if it was an emergency? You had to emergency travel back for whatever, a wedding or funeral, whatever. I'm sure there's a way that you would be able to get some type of emergency passport. So why would it take up to a year? So he's not saying something right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just kind of assuming that he is able to get it in a reasonable time. I think that the arrangement could work with 2 willing parties, especially if let's say Avery goes to Australia for 3 months, and then Ash turns around and comes to the US for 3 months, and they just do that each year for 5 years. I think it's doable. Is it ideal? No.
But how are they going to do that when they both have children? She has multiple children. She has 3 kids.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they were able to do that, I think that would be an ideal situation. I don't know if that's actually realistic for them.
Yeah. A lot going on with them and the kids, and I honestly, if I didn't know it, I knew it through, Linda's news and gossip, then I would never even think that they'd make it past a month after they separated, after, she went back to Washington. She's very skeptical of everything and nervous, and I don't know.
Yeah, I will say this about their departure from one another. It felt like I felt the love between them. I felt like the bond between them at the airport. It was like they really had a hard time leaving each other. So I think that was a beautiful moment. And I think that was like very genuine, like Ash tearing up and, just very upset about leaving her. I think that was a nice moment.
I think it was a nice moment too, but I also think that they knew that this was the last time for them. Like, it felt like a genuine goodbye.
Which made it, for sure. Another person that had to say goodbye was Ed to Rosemarie's spirit, because she was out of there last episode, and he definitely had to come back home to his mom. And what is the dog's name? Teddy?
Yep.
Teddy, yep.
Thoughts on that scene? Because it was it was a filler. We saw him at the airport, and then we saw him telling his mom what happened. Do you think he was just trying to sugarcoat, or, because he didn't really get into it? What were your thoughts on what he was saying to his mom?
I think he just gave her a very high level summary overview of what happened. He didn't get into the nitty gritty, which is understandable. Like, he's a grown man. Your mom doesn't need to know all your relationship drama. And she didn't need to be burdened with all of that. So I thought that was appropriate for him not to get into all of the tea with his mom. And his mom was just so like cute and sweet and, you know, like a sweet, loving lady. So she doesn't need that kind of stress on her. She don't need Ed's stress. But he did miss Teddy though. It was obvious he missed Teddy the most.
The most.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about Ed. I think that the most interesting thing that he said was when he said to his mom that he sugarcoated, first of all, how they broke up and why they broke up. But then when he talked about how he was not ready to be a father to Prince, I thought that was really telling because, wow, good for Rose for leaving. Because not only did he not tell her about wanting to get a vasectomy and not wanting any more children, but we didn't see really any interaction between Ed and Prince, maybe like here and there. And for Rose to have Prince call Ed daddy, I was like, this is so sad because in his mind, he didn't want to have anything to do with Prince. He didn't want to be Prince's dad, but allowed him to call him daddy, which I thought was like super selfish and really telling. Like, it was really telling. That's why you even spend any time with the kid. And that's why even when you went to her home, you like the next day you were out of there and you're like, oh, and you can't bring your kid. So that's what I got from Ed, like super selfish and not okay.
Yeah, agreed. All right, next on the list, Stephanie and Erica. So basically, this was another filler couple. There's not much to say other than Stephanie still won't tell her mom what's up, but her mom kind of got like this feeling. She just had a gut feeling that Stephanie wasn't telling her everything that happened on the trip. Do you see Stephanie coming out next episode, or do you not think it's going to happen? We saw kind of like a preview. Right? But will we know? Will she know everything? Let's be real. Or is she gonna keep, sugarcoating like she was on the way? Because I don't know if that wouldn't have been the place either because the friend was there.
Right.
So obviously you'd want to do it one-on-one. But I feel like she could have given her a little bit more something. She was dry and it was obvious that there was a lot more.
She made it very obvious that she was holding back. From her mom. Like, she made it extremely obvious by her tone and just the cadence of her responses. She just made it extremely obvious. So I don't think the car ride was an appropriate time to tell her mom. Do I think she's going to tell her mom? I think she will because she knows the show's going to air, But again, as we all say, I don't think that she's really bisexual. I think this was just a game for her.
Linda?
I don't think she's going to come up to her mom in the way that we are all saying. I think that she's going to tell her mom that, they had like a little romantic rendezvous and it totally didn't work out and it blew up in her face and she was just exploring herself or whatever. But I don't think she's going to come out in the true sense of the word of coming out being bisexual to her mom. Like, I don't think so. I don't buy it because even the way she was saying it in the preview seemed like, oh, you're just kind of just sugarcoat it. So the other thing is, though, moms always know, right? So I'm interested to see how she words it because her mom is going to know her own daughter and what her daughter is saying and what she chooses to believe. I wanted to talk a little bit, too, about this whole season. Stephanie talks about her illness and how even in this last clip that we saw, how like she was using hand sanitizer every 5 seconds and how it was so important for her to like be germ free and like on her way there, the whole mask thing. But did you guys notice when she came back, she was like all willy-nilly, no mask, no nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Dog comes, she's like hugging the dog, hugging the friend, hugging the mom. And I was like, oh, you made it. And I'm not saying that her illness is not serious. I'm just saying like I was surprised that on her way home, it seemed like it was fine. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah, it was weird. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting too was how they talked about how over the relationship was. Like, why would you think that Erica would drive all the way to the airport for what? She drove 3 hours to talk to you for 10 minutes. Why would she then go to the airport and waste more of her time to say goodbye to you when you like totally screwed her this whole trip? Like, you were such a douche to her. Like, I don't get it. Of course she's not coming to the airport. And of course she's blocked you on social media and hasn't talked to you and you guys aren't texting and all of that. Of course, because A, she's hurt, and B, you wasted her time. That's, again, a selfish mentality for you to think that she's going to come and say goodbye to you just because it's you.
Right. And she
She's
drove
spoiled.
that far. Didn't she drive 3 hours to even meet her for that pointless meeting?
That's what
Yeah. So, and then, to come to the airport. I mean, that would have to be real love, and there's no love there. Let's be real. Oh, okay, so our last couple tonight, David and Lana. He's on cloud 9 right now, and I just want to jump into the bowling alley little situation there because I thought it was hilarious how he really wanted to kiss that bad that he had to make it a bet. And the whole time she's over here like, oh yeah, he didn't make it. He didn't get it on strike. And then as soon as he did, she's like, She did not want any parts of it. And I don't believe that it's because it's too early. I believe it's because she knows what she's here for, and this ain't that. She just wants what she wants. And she wants to be able to get her stuff. She wants to be able to live the lavish life without having to kiss the frog.
Facts. That's it. Facts. Everything. There's nothing that you did not say that is not true. That is all true. I was cringing too. I was like, wow, look how much he's celebrating when this dude, first of all, who said that he used to be a professional bowler, who is like getting all these gutter balls. I thought that was hysterical. But it was hysterical watching her face every time that he would not get a strike and she would super celebrate. And then as soon as he finally got that one, you could see her whole face. Like, she was like, oh. And I was like, oh, wow, that is hilarious to me.
But she made sure to take those photos for the visa process.
Oh, she took those. That was action item number 1. She said, first we need a photo.
Yeah.
It was. So they talk about her coming to America and, what she wants in order to make it work. What were your thoughts on their conversation? Because she kind of didn't even want to have the conversation, it seems like.
Well, I think she was just like pacifying him. I think that I think going to America with David is her plan B. She does definitely want to make sure she's set up so that she has like the pictures and all of that just in case she decides to go that route. But she said it herself. She likes the money and the gifts that Geoffrey brings her. And that's basically it. So and you guys know how I feel about this, and you guys know about, like, through news and gossip where she stands. But I think that she showed up because she had to, and her and the company wanted to make sure that this money train, $300,000 over 7 years was going to continue to keep coming in. So if she did not show up and if she shuts him down, then that money train is not going to continue to go on. So that's why she's not committing to anything, and that's why she's also not saying no to anything. She's kind of just stringing it along, and he's happy with it, which is crazy to me. He's happy. Like, to me, he looks so sad and pathetic because, especially when he's like, I want to marry you and I want to invite you to my hotel. And she's like, oh, hell no. Like, nah, I'm not doing it. And then to say that it was too early. Dude, if y'all have been talking for 7 years and you're saying you're in a relationship, but you've only known her for 2 days in real life, I get that, but 7 years? Okay.
Yeah, 7 years. It's a lot. Okay, so Linda, go ahead and let us know what's going on with the news and gossip, social media, everything.
Okay. Also, I just want to say real quick, it was crazy that they only spent like 2 hours together on that first date and probably like an hour the next date. I was like,
Right.
really, in the week that you're going to spend with her, you're spending less than 24 hours. Crazy.
Ridiculous.
All right, so some news and gossip. There is not a ton for this season's cast members, which I was surprised because normally, what did I say, Geoffrey and not David?
You did.
David.
It's okay.
I meant David.
It's okay.
So there's not a lot of news this week. So first and foremost, Big Ed's accuser is not going away. And she took to social media to post a response video to a video that Ed posted about cyberbullying. And there was a wrestler who, I don't know the exact backstory, but I guess passed away due to cyberbullying. And so he was condemning cyberbullying. And his accuser sent the video, and I want you guys to see the video. So if we can play that now.
And this is going to be the only time that I agree with Ed, but cyberbullying is not okay. Any form of bullying is not okay. But for this man to say these things is so hypocritical. Just watch.
She's no longer with us because of cyberbullying. So see you guys, it doesn't work. Stop it. It's not funny. You're not making people's days. You're not, it's just ridiculous. So stop it. Stop it now. It's not funny. You guys think you're being funny? You're cute? You hide behind your little computer screens? Fine. You guys can live with yourself.
The reason I find this so hypocritical is because he made a 24-year-old want to die and kill herself because he was sexually harassing and assaulting her. Ed, you're part of the problem. Look in the mirror.
So she's basically saying, like, you're a hypocrite because you're a bully as well. You're a sexual bully, and you harassed me, and you harassed a young person into basically almost wanting to kill herself. What do you guys think of that?
It's a lot. It's heavy. I feel like it's really heavy, and I don't know. Is he even denying anything?
Well, what's interesting is that he's not even addressing any of it. Like, not one bit. Not addressing it at all. And I don't know. I don't know how to take it, but I think that where there's smoke, there's fire. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Big Ed as well, Big Ed, guys, has this clothing line that he has started, and he's moved on from. Are you laughing?
Yes, because I would never expect it to be him.
I know.
So he's moved on from just the stickers to a whole clothing line, and he's calling it Big Ed Wear. And he has, as you guys will see on the screen, he has this big poster / billboard that he has up, and it's him and of course Teddy, and announcing his new clothing line. So he's really marketing himself as an entrepreneur, I guess we'll say. And speaking of Big Ed, theblock.com wrote an article that apparently ever since Big Ed and Rosemary broke up, he's had 37 marriage proposals. So some of y'all out there are trying to get with Big Ed, and I'm just curious who you guys are. You can
online.
You can slide into my DMs. You can slide into the comments below. I would like to know. I have a few questions for you, all 37 of you. And if any of you want to come on our show, you are more than welcome. I am throwing it out there because we have questions.
Come with receipts, please. Come with receipts.
So yeah, 37 marriage proposals. Are you too surprised by that?
Yeah. Truly, but I guess they like his personality. I don't know. Let me shut up.
I'm not surprised. I think people like the they like the idea of hopping on the 90-day fame train, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's more so what it is versus it being Big Ed. And he's a personality. People are drawn to that, you know? So that's likely where all of that is coming from.
I'm shook. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Okay, I have a flashback photo. So the flashback photo, if you guys paid attention, then you're going to be able to get this answer quickly. But there's a photo. We're putting it up right now of a guy who I wanted to know who you guys think it is. Can you guys see it? Because I'll pull it up on my phone and show you if you can.
Show us on your phone. That's David.
I can't see.
That's David.
You're right. It's David.
David?
20-year-old David. 20-year-old David looking like a, I don't know, 1970s Playboy with his mustache. But if you guys saw it in the episode that we just watched, that's the photo that they showed of him when he was a professional bowler. Now, guys, if you remember from the beginning of the season, not only is he a bowler, but he's a unicyclist. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
So not only is he a unicyclist, yes, he also is into this RV lifestyle. So he's got a lot of stuff going on. And I find it really, really interesting. Like, he definitely likes the extracurricular activities, but like not like the regular stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he does his own little thing. So yeah, that was David.
I wonder if Lana knows she would be living in an RV. She clearly does not have plans to be with this man.
She doesn't know. And I did the math. Can I just chime in really quick? I did the math on his $300,000 over 7 years, and it ends up being like $900 to $1,000 per year.
That's a lot.
He spent. That is quite a bit, yeah. So let's say like 100, a little bit over 100 per month that he spent on that website. So I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could say that'd be like taking someone out to dinner once a week. I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, $100 a month, if you look at it like that, it doesn't seem like it's a whole lot, right? But
just, when you put it all together.
Oh, no. That might be 100. I may be wrong on that. I'm going to double check my math.
Because I'm like, I'm not good with math. Yeah.
I'm going to double check my math.
I was like, 300,000 over 7 years. That
might be per week. That might be like 100 something per week. So yeah I'm going to double check my math on that. But yeah, it's.
Yeah. And the other thing, real quick, that I just thought was funny too, guys. Like, he meets Lana in real life and they go on these dates. But notice that she has an iPhone, but he still has to go through the app to contact her for more dates. Just goes to what I'm saying. Like, she's just there to like string them along. Moving on. Someone else is jumping on the clothing bandwagon. Do you two want to jump in and guess before I tell you all?
Don't say Ash.
From this cast, yeah.
Ash.
Okay, Ashley?
I'm going to say Erica because she's so fashionable.
Wrong. So, baby girl Lisa posted to her Instagram.
I know you lying.
Oh, my
Wait. Time out. I didn't even finish.
Okay.
Baby girl Lisa posted to her Instagram, and she is modeling Soulja Boy's new clothing line, which is going to be dropping this fall.
You know what?
I'm done. Cue the music. I'm done with this entire season.
I'm done with all of these people. I'm tired.
Oh my God, you guys are killing me. And in addition to the clothing line that Soulja Boy is dropping, 187 Anonymous Gossip posted something that I thought was super fascinating. So she posted a screenshot of Lisa's ex from 3 years ago, and his name is Bubba. And if you look at this photo of Lisa, and I'm sure you guys will put it on the screen for you, it looks like a 1980s glamour shot. But what's interesting is how Bubba gets dragged in the comments. So in the comments, people, because he's like in a relationship with, and names Lisa, and in the comments they're like, "Damn, Bubba, is that your grandma?" And then another person says, "Haha, your fake girlfriend has several different Facebook accounts. She's messaging a friend of mine saying she's in a relationship with," and name someone. And then this lady goes on to say, "And did you know she's trying," think about this, is 3 years ago, guys. "And did you know she's trying to groom young African guys? She's dangerous." Then it goes on to say, "She has several accounts and has admitted she's been hustling," and then in brackets, "scamming to get a Nigerian boy young enough to be her grandson to America because she's madly in love with him." Yeah. That's the tea, guys.
Yeah.
You two are still shook by the clothing line part too. I see in your
Yeah,
beyond.
that took me out. That took me out.
I mean, it's just a mess. It's a hot, buttery mess. Okay. But I hope it works out. I hope everybody collects their coin while they're popping on the 90-day train. Go ahead and collect it and save it. Okay.
I am not mad. Guys, definitely make sure you're continuing to hit me up in my DMs with all the latest and greatest tea, and I'll definitely make sure that I can continue to bring it to you guys. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing because we love to hear from you. We're sorry that our live is down. We should be back up shortly, but definitely hit us up in the comments and we'll get back to you.
Absolutely. Yes. Where can everyone find you, ladies?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Ms. Ashley Marie. And I'm going to launch up my Twitter. So I'll have that for you guys next week as well.
Hey. Guys, I am all across social media at Linda is so girly.
And you can follow me all over at Hey Alex Bowers. We'll see you here next week, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.